Hello, lovely people. So it's been a while. I mean, it's not like I have a regularly scheduled upload time, but still, even for me, this is a little bit too long. I have a myriad of excuses, but the majority of them are better explained in video form. First up was a trip to San Pedro de Atacama with IFSA, my study abroad group. There were plane rides and then bus rides and then a little bit of hiking, followed by running down dunes in your bare feet, which is an incredibly exhilarating and crazy thing that I never thought I'd ever be doing. This was in Valle de la Muerte, which actually should be Mars Valley, but due to a pronunciation error in French, it became Death Valley. I don't know. Felt pretty good. Then we went to Valle de la Luna and appropriately watched the sunset and the moon rise there. We hit up a couple of very small villages that pretty much just served as reasons to get out of the bus and acclimate ourselves to the height. Next was a visit to Lagunas Miscanti and Miniques, which are lakes at about 13,000 feet. Then back into the van and off to the salt flats where there were flamingos and whatever on earth these birds are, but they're cool. The next day we were up at 4:20 in the morning to visit geysers, and even though it was minus 7 degrees Celsius, we swam. Next up was another small village and then the salt flat lakes. Lakes that you could actually swim in and as you can see are so saline that you're actually buoyant. Next up was Ojos de Salar, which we jumped into. Finally, it was the salar itself with its perfect mirror-like reflection. Then it was back on a bus and home. That is until the next weekend. Welcome to Pucón. Pucón is the opposite direction out of Santiago, south, in the Araucanía. Known for being the lakes and volcano region, we saw a whole heck of a lot of both. Also dogs. I also rode a horse for the first time ever, and while I didn't look very graceful, I had a blast. We rode through a Mapuche reserve, the Mapuche being the indigenous people of the region. There's a lot of tension in between the Mapuche people and the Chilean government, and after seeing the Araucanía, I can understand why they fight for it. The first day we were lucky and got a whole heck of a lot of sun, which was absolutely beautiful. The second day it started to turn the typical winter day, but we went to Parque Nacional Huerquehue, which is known for its lakes, which as you can see are beautiful. You can see Villarrica from Huerquehue, Villarrica being the big volcano that's near Pucón. The main draw is to hike the mountain, but I practically killed myself trying to get up to the lakes in Huerquehue, so I was not going to visit the mountain. However, Huerquehue had all of its own charms, with waterfalls, lakes, Araucanía trees, and really just a lot of foliage. The air was also incredibly crisp and clean, which after living in a city of 7 million people for a couple months, was a very nice break. We did the short circuit of the trail, which only got us to see 3 lakes, but I still thought it was worth it. The next day showed us a dose of what Pucón's weather is supposed to be like during the winter. On the final day, well, we went on a bike ride in the rain, and the bike ride ended up being 40 kilometers long. For a bit of perspective, a marathon is 42 kilometers. However, we saw Ojos de Cauburga, which was beautiful. After that, we hopped back onto a bus and back to Santiago, which brought me to the end of my 2 weekends of vacation. I did have a weekend of a break and that's when I put up my other video, but then the next weekend my parents came. But that is for another video. I got this. It's a duck.